The conclusion is that they stood upright first. Sound good? Why does this person think they stood upright first?
Because doing so would give them free use of their hands, and they need free use of their hands to make advanced tools.
Yep. So they had to stand up, right? Okay. So we're trying to weaken this. Which ones were we debating?
I originally chose B, but I overthought it, because B said advanced hunting weapons and not advanced tools.
That's
Tools
everyone's
are
complaint.
weapons, but, say again?
Yeah, that's everyone's complaint. They're like, but this is hunting.
I mean, they are tools, I got you, but it doesn't actually say it anywhere in
It
there.
doesn't say tools, yeah.
Yeah,
So are you worried that you have to assume that hunting weapons are tools?
I was worried about making that leap, and that's what stopped me from choosing that as the right answer.
Okay, so let's stop right there for a second because that's what most people get hung up on. Imagine yourself before a crowd of scientists. Okay? You're at a lecture and you're giving a speech. You say, guys, I have a question for all y'all. Would you consider a hunting weapon a tool? How many people would say yes?
Of course. It's a reasonable assumption.
What's the definition of a tool?
Something to get the job done. So
Something that helps you, accomplish some sort of job.
Task of something.
Hunting is a job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a tool. Yeah.
I was gonna say, isn't the more important part that it's advanced? Like, to me, that's what I focus on because the argument is about advanced or sophisticated tools. So if it didn't say advanced, would you be able, like, what if the answer just said hunting weapons have been discovered? Would that still be right, or does it need to have advanced or sophisticated in front of it?
Advanced certainly helps because if that wasn't there and you read hunting weapons alone, we would have to assume that they were advanced tools as opposed to just regular
But
tools.
can you assume that, I guess, is my
Well, it
question.
depends on that assumption versus whatever assumptions you have to make in the other answers. So
Okay.
sometimes the assumptions you have to make are a little questionable, but they're far less questionable than the assumptions you have to make in the alternative answer choices. So we're looking for the one that strengthens it the most, relies on the smallest amount of assumptions. So here, I was focusing on the hunting weapons because if we think that's not a tool, then this whole thing becomes irrelevant, right? But so once you think that it's a tool, then the question becomes, well, is it an advanced tool? Yes, because they say it, so that's really helpful. What answer did we end up choosing?
I chose E.
Pretty much all of them.
Okay, yeah, I don't want B, so I'm gonna go with A, C, D, and E.
Yeah.
Let's start with A. We can get rid of that because of what word?
Animals.
Basic.
Oh, interesting. Well, I got rid of it because of basic. I don't care about basic tools, but
I said animals because
but
it
animals.
says hands and.
So that's that's a deep question.
But humans
Are humans animals? Yeah, but it just says many animals. So are we talking about human animals, or are we talking about non-human animals? Right. Many is it could be a subset that does not include humans. So, and I like your animals have paws, but they don't have hands.
It's like about free use of hands, so that's,
Yeah,
that's really what
yeah,
I focused in
yeah.
on. And so I was like, well, animals have paws, so they
Yeah.
can't. It
Haven't
doesn't matter if they have free use because.
Animals
Very
have
deep
paws.
analysis.
There's a lot of animals out
Okay,
there.
well,
Yeah, okay. I got you. It's good. It's good. All right, so let's keep going. Either way, basic kills us, right?
Yeah, basic kills it.
Right? Basic, Rachel?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so C. Many prehistoric human ancestors who stood upright had no sophisticated tools. Why does this not matter?
Because they could have developed them later.
Sure.
Later on.
They could develop them later, and also it has the word many, so who cares if some people stood upright and weren't able to go further with that? Right? See you later. You didn't make it through the evolutionary chain. But the others who did, they may have not done it until they stood upright, right? This doesn't change that at all. D. Even if you have no more dexterity, that doesn't change the fact that you needed to stand up to be able to use your hands, right? You're just as dexterous as you were before, but now you can actually use them as opposed to not being able to use them. Yeah? Is that the one you chose?
Oh no, I chose E.
Oh, okay. Many of the earliest sophisticated tools did not require their users to be able to stand upright. Okay, you didn't need to stand up to use them, but that's different from being able to
Make them.
make them, right? Or develop them, or whatever they said.
Well, I didn't see it as like many of the earliest sophisticated tools did not require their users to be able to stand upright. Like, I didn't know if that meant like to be use them or to make them or to have them. It doesn't say use.
With users, not developers.
Well,
A user.
But I think it doesn't matter because you still could stand upright first and then make tools that don't require for you to stand upright.
Sure. You
So
don't
it
have
doesn't-
you don't have to stand up, but you do. Right?
Yeah.
You're not required to stand up to use that tool. You could get back down on your hands and knees, but you're not required to. You're not required to stand when you use that tool. But I think the users part kind of is crucial there too. You know, it's not required as opposed to developers. Many of the sophisticated tools do not require their developers to be able to stand upright. That would be like, oh, you didn't have to stand upright to develop it, then okay, then it didn't need to happen after you stood upright.
I guess because it also doesn't say prehistoric. It could be earliest sophisticated tools at like the 19th century versus.
I don't know that I would go that route because when it says earliest sophisticated tools, to me that sounds like whatever ones they were talking about.
So you're saying
most long ago.
tool making versus use, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also another.
Just think of it, developers versus users. Yeah.
There's also another funny flaw in this argument. When I'm sitting down, I have both my hands free. So just because standing upright is one way to make it possible to use both your hands, doesn't mean that they couldn't also like sit on the ground and use both of their hands to make tools. So it's kind of a funny argument for that reason too. It's like they could just sit on the ground.
They could. Have a little campfire. All right.